Hey everybody, today we've got the updated swing state polling from Emerson. And this dropped yesterday, so now that we've just got into May, we're closing in on the 6-month mark until the election. And with these results, we've got a little something for everybody. We've got Trump doing better at the top of the ticket, but down ballot in the Senate, Democrats maintain their advantage. So let's get into this. We've got the headline. It says Trump holds edge over Biden in 7 key swing state polls. This is mostly what we've been seeing over the past 4 or 5 months. There might have been an expectation that Biden had made up some ground over the past few weeks, given Trump and his current trial underway has been in the news every day, but that does not seem to have panned out. However, the subheadline is Democrats maintain lead over Republicans in 5 Senate races. So that is a mixed signal. Based on this, Trump could squeak by for president, but Democrats could squeak by with Senate control. But let's go through the 7 states, and Trump is ahead in every single one of these. In Arizona, that was a state that made news recently where the state Supreme Court had upheld an abortion ban. It seemed like that could spark some momentum change in favor of Biden. It looks like if it did, it wasn't much. We've got Trump ahead by 4, 48 to 44. In Georgia, that's another state Trump has consistently been leading in. Here his lead is a little bit lower. It's 3%, 47 to 44. Into the Rust Belt, we've got Michigan. Trump is ahead by just 1 point here. That is a dead heat, 45 to 44. Nevada, we have seen other polls that have shown Trump with a comfortable lead. Here it's just 1 point, 45 to 44. North Carolina, that's going to be Trump's best state out here. It's a 5-point advantage, 47 to 42. In PA, it's also a toss-up, but Trump has the edge, 47 to 45. And in Wisconsin, it's the exact same margin, a 2-point lead for Trump, 47 to 45. We're also looking at about 10% that remain undecided in each of these states. We've got a quote here that says the state of the presidential election in swing states has remained relatively consistent since Emerson and the Hill started tracking them last November. And as I said, that does seem to be the case. Once in a while, there is a state that might change month to month, but generally since late last year, Trump has maintained advantages in most of these states. Independent voters are key, and it says here they break for Trump over Biden in Arizona by 10, 48 to 38, in Michigan by 9, 44 to 35, in Nevada by 6, 43 to 37, in Pennsylvania it's a significant 16 points, 49 to 43, and in North Carolina it's a narrower 3-point independent advantage, 41 to 38. However, independents do break for Biden in Georgia by 4, 42 to 38, and in Wisconsin by 3, 44 to 41. So generally, Trump there with a comfortable independent advantage, but there's a couple of exceptions in Georgia and Wisconsin. Biden leads Trump with labor unions in Michigan by just 2 points, 48 to 46. I would be expecting Biden to do a little bit better than that. In Pennsylvania, it is a little bit better. He's up by 7, 50 to 43. And in Wisconsin, it's even better for Biden with labor unions, 55 to 44. Next, they go down to third parties, and it says when they're added in, support is pulled away from Biden more than Trump in 5 states, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And it's drawn evenly from each candidate in Arizona and Michigan. So when you throw in Kennedy is not polling that high here. He's only getting between 5 and 9% in all the states. There's still a few percentage points that support other, but in Arizona, Trump is up 4. In Georgia, he's up 6. Michigan, it's just 1. Nevada, 5. North Carolina, 9. Pennsylvania, 4. And Wisconsin, it's 5 points. So with third-party polling, we've seen some conflicting data. Sometimes it shows Kennedy taking just a little bit more from Trump, but I think a little bit more often I've seen it have not much impact one way or the other, or it does take a little bit more from Biden. That could always change as the months go on and Kennedy gets more ballot access, but in this poll, it looks like he's taking a little bit more from Biden. Next, they ask about the trial currently underway for Trump. They ask, based on what you've seen or heard, is it closer that the trial is appropriate to hold Trump accountable, or is the trial a witch hunt? There's close to 10% undecided in each state, but in all these states, this is kind of the opposite of the head-to-head polling. Here, voters that think the trial is appropriate to hold Trump accountable has a small advantage. It's narrowest in North Carolina, where it's a 1-point lead, and in Nevada, it's an 11-point lead. That's relatively significant. So now they talk about if Trump is found guilty in that trial, how would it impact their likelihood of supporting him for president? This data I found to be a little bit conflicting, but it says a majority of Republicans say it would make them more likely to support Trump in 2024. I can understand that, but then it says while 15% of Pennsylvania Republicans say they are less likely to support Trump, along with 13% in Arizona, 11 in Wisconsin, 10 in Michigan, 9 in Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina. So it seems a little odd that a majority of Republicans overall would be more likely to support Trump, while in all the key battleground states, about 10% of Republicans say that it would be less likely. likely. Down here, this makes it even more confusing. It does not specify, but it seems like this is with voters overall, and they ask if you'd be more or less likely to support Trump with a guilty verdict. Here, in every state except Nevada, the results show that more likely is actually the winner. There's a huge chunk, more than a third, that say no impact, but this pretty much conflicts with the data we just saw above. But down here, we've got even more. This is just about independent voters in those states, and this is different yet again from the data above. In Arizona, they're more likely to support Trump. In Georgia and Michigan, they're less likely. In North Carolina, they're more likely. In Nevada, they're less likely. In Pennsylvania, they're more likely. And in Wisconsin, they're less likely. No impact there is in the mid-40s, but either way, with this specific data, I do find it to be conflicting. Next, we go on to the U.S. Senate. First, we've got Arizona, and in that race, it's a 2-point advantage for likely nominees Ruben Gallego over Kari Lake. 12% are undecided. Kari Lake's support has gone up just a little bit since the previous poll. In Pennsylvania, Bob Casey is leading David McCormick by 4 points, 46-42. Then they mentioned Michigan. They don't have the graph for it, and we still do have to get through primaries, but Democrat Alyssa Slotkin is leading Republican Mike Rogers by 2, 42-40. A lot of undecideds there at 19. In Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin is up by 3 over Eric Hovde, 46-43. And then they also mentioned the North Carolina governor's race. Here we've got a 1-point lead for Mark Robinson, 42-41. That's the first poll we've seen with Robinson with an edge in a little while. And last, the U.S. Senate race in Nevada. Incumbent Jackie Rosen is up by 8, 45-37 over potential nominee Sam Brown. And last, we've got approval ratings. Katie Hobbs is underwater in Arizona by 4. Brian Kemp is looking great in Georgia. He has a net 20% positive rating. Gretchen Whitmer is positive by 6. Roy Cooper positive by 3. Joe Lombardo is up by 9. Josh Shapiro is looking good there in Pennsylvania at positive 15. And Tony Evers in Wisconsin, he's close to even, but he's up by 3. And finally, they have Joe Biden's approval rating. And in all these states, his net approval rating is significantly lower than the governor's. However, just those that approve of him and not disapprove, that is actually higher in Arizona over Katie Hobbs, where Biden is at 40 to Hobbs 38. So those are the updated Emerson polls. There's a lot of data here. It does continue to look pretty good for Trump at the top of the ticket, but we've still got 6 months to go. This is just one pollster. A lot of people just have not started paying attention to politics yet. And then we've got Trump's trial. That's kind of a wild card. Of course, if you're Trump, you're definitely looking to be acquitted there. That, I think, should help him a little bit in the polls. But if he's convicted, then all bets are off. Meanwhile, the Senate does look like it's going to be an uphill climb for Republicans in these states. So who knows what's going to happen, but this is the latest update from Emerson. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about these polls? Do you buy that Trump is still in the lead on the top of the ticket? And do you buy that the Democrats are in the lead in the U.S. Senate? And what do you think about the trial? How is that actually going to affect voters? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.